Welcome to CSL Dallas, a spiritual community deep in the heart of Texas, connecting with kindred spirits around the world. You are invited to explore around the edges or dive right into our powerful teachings, practical practices, mystical experiences, and heart-opening connections. This month, we explore how to get your life and yourself moving as we grow ourselves, co-create with the universe, experience joy, and transform the world one life at a time. We love being in community with you, whether it's in person or virtually. We're so glad you're here. Let's get started with some Get Your Body Moving music with our fabulous band and music team.
Morning, everybody. Stand up. Take a look at the person next to you.
Take a look at the person next to you.
Say, I recognize the love in you.
I recognize the love in you.
Feel the love in the sanctuary.
Feel the love in the sanctuary.
Lift your voice and repeat after me. We come together.
We come together.
Together.
We come together.
Good morning. We come together, yes? We come together in the name of love, peace, unity, joy, abundance, creativity, and so much more. So if you don't know me, I'm Reverend Karen Fry. I'm officially now Minister Unbound, being the global citizen, traveling all over the world, creating community. So let's start with what CSL Dallas is all about, right? Some of you know this, some of you don't. We're holding the vision to continue to live into this because we are radically inclusive, spiritually progressive, transforming lives. Yes, so it is. So mark your calendars, Friday night, August 9th. We're having a Mystic Note Cafe talent show. Woo! Right on, Joe Tinker says. You can experience, you can cheer like we're doing now, show your support for all this wonderful talent that we have here at CSL Dallas, talent that you don't even know about. All right, this talent will start with any great showcasing event does with some snacks, some adult beverages, and finding your seat. So you got to get a seat. And then we'll get to watch all of the members of our community show off and showcase their talent. So grab a friend, let's celebrate. That's Friday, August 9th, and you can get your tickets on CSL Dallas.
You know what I heard today? I heard it was free. There's no tickets needed.
See how generous we are. It's free, no tickets needed anymore. I love that. All right, here's something you may not know much about, and you need to. Have you heard of the law of mental equivalent? If you hear mental equivalent and you go, what the heck is this? This is for you to listen up. So the law of mental equivalence is deliberately used through the power of consciousness. It is so deeply accepting in your own consciousness and subconscious mind, even more importantly, the exact thing you desire and imagine yourself to be, want, have, doing, living, like me, okay? So I know the law of mental equivalence and use it every day. So it's where we hear the saying, believe you have received and you shall receive. So like the law of attraction, the law of mental equivalence never stop working. You're using it all the time. It's just how you're using it. Are you deliberately using it? Do you understand how it works? So you can take this in-depth 5-week course, and cleverly enough, it's been titled The Law of Mental Equivalence. And it starts Tuesday, August 13th. And what I want you to know is it's being facilitated by one of our amazing, always using the law of mental equivalent, my prayer partner, licensed spiritual coach, Christine Volkmer. So y'all got to take this class with her. Don't be put off by the title. If you don't know what it is, or you're really not using this spiritual law to the extent of your life, you got to sign up for this, okay? It's online only, so it doesn't matter where you live. You can be in your pajamas, maybe in the bottom, maybe not the top half, but dress how you want. We don't care. Be yourself. Sign up for that. Excuse me. I have a post-nasal drip that is going out of my body. Whether you're joining us for the first time today, I'm not going to call you out, but I'm happy to have met you, or you've been here for years. Stay connected. However you found us in person or online, we'd love to stay in touch with you. And if you aren't staying in the know and following us on social media, do that. Leave us a Google review. Give us some 5-star shout outs. That would be really cool. And you can sign up for our weekly newsletter and inspired text. I love it when it comes in at noon. I think it's twice or 3 times a week. And I just go, bing, that's a great text, because y'all getting a lot of other texts right now. This is a very short text that inspires you for your life. You can fill out a connection card here on campus. You can sign up online. You'll get the link right there. And you can head over to our sister website. You may not know we have one called spiritualclassonline.com and get a free course, CSL Dallas 101. It's a great place to start. Now let's settle in to the rest of our morning together here online and in the sanctuary with our music team, Candid, Glenda, Valerie, Cleo, and we'll center down with our licensed spiritual coach, Cindy Young.
this moment, in this place, I remember who I am. Letting fear and worry fall away from me. I open my eyes and see there is only love. There is only love. Love that heals, love that sets me free. There is only love. In this moment, in this place, I remember who I am. Letting fear and worry fall away from me. I open my eyes and see there is only love. There is only love. Love that heals, love that sets me free. There is only love.
Please take a moment to go within and just let that love just wash over. Just wash over and just sink into that place of knowing that truth of each and every one of our being. That place of absolute unconditional love. That love of spirit that flows through each of us all the time, in every place, in every way. We cannot be outside of that. And we are completely grounded in that knowing, like the mighty oak tree, deeply steeped in our roots of love, not wavering from that. And in that divine flow of spirit, we take that love and we expand that love into the greater consciousness. That greater consciousness continues to grow. We are not fooled by hatred. We are not fooled by fear. We're not fooled by worry, because it is not our spiritual truth. And as we grow from that place of unconditional love, we create a wave that makes a difference in this world. We create a movement in our own lives and the lives of others. And so, as we come together today, we are grounded in love and knowing that there is only love. And we affirm it by saying, and so it is.
In this moment, in this place, I remember who I am. Letting fear and worry fall away from me. I open my eyes and see there is only love.
to Cleo and our fabulous music team and our fabulous band. That was Symphony of Life. Thank you so much. You got to decide what's in your mind. And don't you just love it when the music team brings forward new music? Yes. We have so much fun sending each other music and going, oh, we have to do this one, we have to do this one, we have to do this one. And you've got to decide, right? You've got to decide what kind of life you're going to live. So, as you know, we've been talking about getting yourself and your life moving. And it's been a whole series of very practical and wonderful talks. Thank you to Karen for kicking it off. And to Faye, who did an amazing job last week, yes? Yes, our ministerial student who's now on staff. And, you know, every time she gets to give a talk, it's great to see that growth. And, of course, that's what has to happen. You have to go and do it. You can't just think about it. You can't just talk about it. You have to go and do it, whatever it is. So today we're talking about breaking through inertia and procrastination, about which I know absolutely nothing. Oh, right. And so all month we've been talking about what's our part in Science of Mind Retreat. Do your spiritual mind treatment, do your spiritual work, make your affirmations, do your visioning board, all of that stuff. And then you have to move your feet, right? You can't just go, okay, no, lay it on me. Because likely what's going to be laid onto you is exactly what was laid onto you last week, last month, you know, the year before. It's the same boss. It's the same, you know, same person, different face, right? Relationship, boss, whatever. Same experiences over and over and over again, because we not only have to change our consciousness, we then have to allow that change to show up in the way we are in the world and to give us the confidence to move forward in a new way. But of course, we have to move forward. And sometimes we procrastinate, don't we? That moving forward thing, doing what needs to be done. This is me a long time ago. If it weren't for the last minute, nothing would get done. I was one of those people who believed that I was best under pressure, that I did my best work at the last minute. Of course, I was always exhausted, and I always had lovely excuses about why it ended up not being my best work. Well, because, you know, I did it at the last minute because I had so much to do. I had so many other things going on, or whatever it was, because I had this false belief that I could only get things done at the last minute. Why? Because I was not willing to admit that I was a procrastinator. And I waited for the deadline to be the push, right? Oh my God. Or sometimes I waited to watch the deadline go by before I finally did whatever needed to be done. Yeah. So I got a huge lesson in this. Actually, along the way, I had very many lessons, but my really biggest lesson around all of this was when I went back as an adult to the University of Dallas. And my son was 18 months old. I had moved down here to Texas, and my mother had agreed that I could live in their house and they would help support me. I, of course, paid rent and food and all that stuff, and I would go back to school. And she would help with Jason. So I didn't really want to, I wanted him to be cared for by somebody in the family. So I went, and I'd already, you know, had a ministerial career. I'd already had my first community, lived in my cabin in the woods, and then moved to Texas. So here I am, and do you have any idea how much American and Texas history you have to learn? I was like, what? Didn't I do all that 8th, 9th, and 10th grade, all that history stuff? Well, apparently not, because it was nowhere on my transcripts. And so I was in the introductory history classes with all the freshmen. Super fun. So the first semester, right? So in this particular class, this particular teacher decided that in addition to the midterm exam and the midterm paper and the final exam and the final paper, was that you had to give in a small paper every 2 weeks or sometimes once a week based on the material we were reading along the way. Because I figure he thought it was the only way he could get people to read the material was to require them to write a paper. Okay, well, that was okay, except that I had three other classes I was taking. So 4 classes all requiring midterms and finals and tests, and I was doing my usual thing. I'm great under pressure, right? Except that what happens to a little one when mom is under pressure? Oh, he does not go to bed. Why? Because he can feel the anxiety. Go to bed, you gotta go to bed. You got to go to bed. I got to write this talk. Oh, God, if he would just go to bed, I could do this. I could do this paper. Okay, so the first term went by in a blur, and it was awful. And I was literally, because he wouldn't go to bed, or he would get sick, or he would throw up all over everything, or whatever it was, inevitably the night before something was due. I survived the first term. I did exactly the same thing the second term because I'm really great under pressure. And those deadlines, they motivate me and I'm going to do my best work. And it was like clockwork. Those of you who have children at home, you know what I'm talking about. The minute that the energy shifts, they go someplace else that we don't want them to go. So by the third term, I thought, this is for the birds. I know how to do spiritual work. I know how to do the affirmations, and I know how to do all of that stuff, which I had been doing. But I was not changing any of my behaviors. So I went in the third term, I went into the first day of the class, and I said to the teacher, do I have to turn these papers in when we talk about them in class, or can I do them ahead of time? He looked at me like I had 2 heads. I said, no, I'm serious. He said, well, I guess if you read the material and you do a good job, you can do that. So I turned in all my weekly papers in the first 2 weeks because I still had all the midterms and all the finals and everything else. And so I turned them all in, boom, 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 one after the other. I read all the material, did the thing, I even went to the library and did a little extra research so I knew what I was talking about. And I did one paper after another, boom, 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 boom. And I had all my papers and everything lined out. I did my homework from 8 o'clock at night till midnight. That meant Jason had to go to bed at 7:45 and he had to be asleep at 8 o'clock, which meant that I could not be stressed out. So I had to organize myself a schedule. You will read these 10 pages in this book. You'll read those 2 chapters in that book, and you'll do this work tonight. And then tomorrow, you'll do this and this and this, and the day after and the day after. 7 days a week from 8 to midnight, I did my homework, and I started slamming those papers in. Now, meanwhile, what I haven't told you is not only am I coming home every day and I'm raising my child when I'm not at school, right? So it's not like my mom's doing 8 hours of child care 5 days a week. Oh, no, I was only in school 3 days a week. So when I was home, I was mom. And I was the interim minister of this community for the first time for a year. And they expected me to work full time. So I had a full-time job, full-time school, and I was a full-time mom. And when I handed in that last paper, I was like, okay, I think I'm getting the hang of this. The next week, papers were due, whatever that next week was. And I had no paper to hand in. And I said to the gal next to me, we had become friends, and I said, oh, God, I'm so grateful I've handed in all those papers. So now I can think about the midterms that are coming up. And the freshman in the back behind me said, loud enough so I could hear, well, it must be so nice to be a suburban housewife with nothing else to do. I just smiled. That taught me procrastination is not my friend. The deadlines, they are not my friend. Not only do they upset everybody around me, but they upset me, which then causes me to upset everyone around me. Procrastination is like a credit card. It's a lot of fun until you get the bill. Man, I found this the other day and I was like, oh my God, I love that. Right? Push it off, push it off, push it off, push it off until it's too late. Because now you not only have to deal with the thing you're supposed to do, but you have to deal with all the stuff that's going on around you at the same time. So here's the biggest surprise I learned. Procrastination is the highest form of perfectionism. Now, I really want you to hear that. Usually we think of perfectionism and procrastination as two ends of the spectrum. Procrastinators never get anything done, and perfectionists always have to do everything perfectly, so they're constantly working on whatever it is. And these two things are totally opposite. No. When you get past perfectionism, you get to procrastination. Why? Because procrastination is the fear that your perfectionism isn't going to be good enough, that you aren't actually going to do it perfect. Perfectionism is our fear of failure. That somehow it's not going to be good enough. It's not so I deluded myself thinking that I did my best work at the last minute. But even though I may have gotten it on just under the wire, I still noticed that I was apologizing for the fact that it wasn't my best. Well, you know, I had a lot going on. This is the best I could do. No, it wasn't, because I hadn't planned anything. Right? I hadn't paid attention to those things. Not only is it a fear of failure, it's not going to be good enough, it's not going to work out, I don't know what I'm doing, I'm afraid I don't know what I'm doing, it'll show and so that pressure of the last minute just makes me do it, but I'm so afraid of failing, I don't take the time to do it right or do it well. The other reason we procrastinate, this was as much for me as the fear of failure, was the fear of success. Because, first of all, the fear of success, because people aren't going to like you. Well, how good it is to be a suburban housewife, that you don't have anything to do. I mean, it was dripping venom when she said it. And here I was just trying to keep my life together and my son from going crazy and moving things forward. When we succeed, I think Patrick said it this morning in our Sunday morning class. Apparently in Australia, they call it the tall poppy syndrome. That's the one that gets cut off. Right? So we're afraid of succeeding. People won't like us. And, hang on. And the other thing for me, not only was I afraid of succeeding, I have to grab this because it just fell off, so I'm going to have to hold it. Hold on. You have no idea what I have to do here. It's stuck. Yes, I do. So talk amongst yourselves. No. Talk amongst yourselves.
Turn her mic off.
Turn my mic off, please. Otherwise, I'd have a tail. Okay. All right. So, the other thing is, because I've grown up with this idea, you have so much potential, right? My fear of success also shows up as, they're going to ask me to do it again and again and again. which of course they did. After my first year at UD, they asked me to be a Constantine Scholar, which was the first Constantine Scholar they had had in 10 years. So I wrote my own degree, right, in literature, philosophy, and art, and then I did, and then I did this massive defense of my thesis, and my philosophy professor said, "You've answered a question I've asked for 30 years. Thank you so much." Yes, it was very cool. But my fear of success was they're going to ask me to do it again and again and again. But that was before I remembered that I was always plugged into the infinite power and presence of the universe, and the intelligence and energy is always there to do what needs to be done. You see, when the doingness is woven in with the spiritual truth, it's not just, we do the spiritual truth over here, and then we go over here and we do the thing the way we've always done it. No. They weave together. So, I'm going to follow in Karen's footsteps, and I am going to give you some tips. Tips for the ride, right? We have this beautiful river here that our sacred space team made, and we're in the raft. You cannot procrastinate when the rapids are coming. I think I'll wait to put my oar in the water until I think it's the right time. Or whatever it is. No, you can't procrastinate. I don't know what I'm doing. Forward, right? As Johnny would say when we were in our river rafting, I don't know what to do. Forward. I missed the water entirely. Forward. Keep paddling. Tips for the ride. Okay, here you go. Tip number 1. Start. I love this. The secret of getting ahead is getting started. Start. Begin. There's a beautiful thing. The journey of 1,000 miles starts with a single step. We procrastinators, we wait at the start line. I don't know what we're waiting for, except for that pressure of the last minute. Get started. Start with what's important, not the things that distract you. Start with what's important. Now, you will need breaks. So when you need breaks, then you go, you take a little break. You do the thing that distracts you. For me, it's clean. I clean. I put things away, because when my house is uncluttered, my brain unclutters. So once I've started and I've gotten myself all confused and I don't know what to do next, I clean. Put things away, I organize a closet, I organize in a drawer. I feel so much better because A, I've accomplished something, and B, my brain has settled back down again, so that I can do the next important thing. Start with what's important. I love this from Martin Luther King. You don't have to see the whole staircase, just take the first step. For those of us who are procrastinators, we also like to have A, B, C, D, E, F, G, H, I, J, K, L, M. I can't start because I don't know what N, O, or P are going to be. So until I know that, not to start. Colin Pal says you need 40% of the information to make a decision. 40%. How many of us wait till we have 80 or 90? Yeah. Just take the first step and then listen for the feedback, right? Then you use your spiritual tools. Okay, it's good. And take the second step. What's opening up? What's emerging? Oh, the path is emerging. Oh, take the next step. Maybe you have some idea along the way. We're going to do this and we're going to do that, but I'm not exactly sure how that's going to unfold. Okay, that's where the trust comes in. Take the first step. Now, I love this quote. Ernest Holmes actually has something to say about procrastination. I was utterly impressed. The universe is an orderly system of intelligence, and we exist in it as orderly spiritual beings. Procrastination and delay are unknown to the divine presence and should be unknown to us. Time, spiritually understood, is an orderly method of living easily, not from the shock of one last minute to the next, right? Its sole value is measurement, planning, deciding. Many people develop an unconscious resistance. These same people usually find their demonstrations delayed because they are in a consciousness of delay. Right? There's an orderly, intelligent process in the universe that is unfolding. We're a part of that. Our unfolding is a part of that. If we take the first step, that orderly process and intelligent is actually going to reveal the next step and the step beyond that, and may intuitively be, oh, and there's those steps over there. I'm going to trust that I'm going to get to that, right? You get to participate in the planning process. You get to say which of the places you want to go and how you see this unfolding, but not down to the nitty-gritty nth degree. Take the first step. We live in an orderly, intelligent universe that is, in fact, seeking to support us. So, starting is an act of faith. It's a demonstration of trust, that we trust the universe, that it will unfold. And then we're on the ride. So once you start, you've put your raft in, and you've decided that you're going to go down this river that direction. Whatever's down there, whatever rapids, right? We're on the ride now. What are we going to do? So the first thing, this is tip number 2, decide to be interested and invested. I cannot tell you how many times during my entire academic career I have heard students say, can't believe we have to take this class. This is the stupidest thing. I hate this class. And what do? They procrastinate, they bitch and moan about it, they have a horrible time, and inevitably don't get the grade that they want. I learned early on, I actually learned this in high school, I learned that I could be interested in the number of legs on a worm for 10 weeks. And after 10 weeks, I would never have to care about it again. I could be interested and invested in anything if I decided to do so. Do you see? So whatever it is that is in front of us that we are procrastinating about, and we are afraid of, or we're not sure how it's going to go, or we don't know. Often we procrastinate because we're not sure that we know. Be interested and invested. Find out. Take a step to find out. Participate. But stop telling the story that this is a problem. I have had a number of employees in the past who often talked about, I don't want to do this, it's too much work. I've had partners in the past who said, yeah, I really don't want to go camping because, wow, it's just a lot of work to put everything in the car. So we didn't go. How many times have we done that? It's too much work to figure that out. Oh, I don't want to travel. Why would I want to do that? I got to pack and do all that stuff, right? Here are the times and ways and places that we say those things, because we're keeping ourselves from moving forward. Amateurs sit and wait for inspiration. The rest of us just get up and go to work. The other thing that I noticed for spiritual people is that we like to be sure that we feel like doing it. Doesn't resonate with me to do that today. I don't feel it. I'm just not feeling it. Not feeling it. Okay, well, if I was not feeling it, Ryan would have to chain me to the desk and make me use Teams. I was not feeling it the first 2 months of the pandemic when it was he and I and a little tiny eye of a camera, and I was trying to give inspirational talks, hoping that somebody was out there listening. No. Feeling it, right, is an emotional idea, like, I'm going to want to do it. Okay, when you first started exercising, or you first started eating right, or you first started changing your mind about something, did you really want to do it? Not particularly. It's only after you get in the habit of it that your body says, I want it. And I am the queen of talking myself out of it. I didn't sleep well. I can't do my workout today. I have too much to do. I have too much. I know. No, I can't do it. I have too much to do. Oh, I don't. I just don't feel like it. Oh, I don't feel like it. I don't want to do it. I don't want to do it. I had to work yesterday. I had to work on Friday. That's my day off. Had to work. Listen to that. Ooh, man. That's how it felt to me. But it was my choice. I chose to finish a project because I really wanted it done, and I'd given myself a deadline, and I was happily moving towards that deadline. And all it required of me was a couple hours of work on Friday, and I would have completely 100% hit my deadline with no effort. And I came within a hair's breadth of talking myself out of it. How many times do we talk ourselves out of it? But the good news is we can talk ourselves into it too. No, this is good. You're going to feel so good when this is finished. Oh, man. You're going to be so happy that you did this and that you finished this whole project and it's done, right? We can as easily talk ourselves into it as we can talk ourselves out of it. Sometimes I don't have the wherewithal to do that. And so I don't think about it at all. This is what it means to be present. Being present with what's going on means you are not narrating to yourself about what you think and feel or judge or anything between you and the thing that is in front of you. Being present means you're fully engaged with nothing filtering in between. And usually what's filtering in between is how we are talking to ourselves about it. So sometimes I get myself to do it because I don't think about it one way or the other. It's on my calendar, needs to be done, boom. I neither try to talk myself out of it, and I don't pretend that I can talk myself into it. But if we wait for inspiration or till we feel like doing it, it's not going to happen. This has been a word that I've had to make friends with over the last 40 years of my life, and it is that very challenging word called discipline. Discipline is what keeps us from talking ourselves out of things. We're just going to do it. Don't even think about it. Just do it. Don't wait for inspiration. Just do it. Tip number 3. What are you doing with your time in your life? I almost wrote tip number 3 is, well, what else have you got to do with your life? Play games on your device? Watch movies? Shows? Series? Me, I read books. What else have we got to do with our lives? I used to have people say to me, I have no idea how you get everything done that you get done. Well, it's because at that point, I never watched television. And then somebody put this in my hand. Do you know that you have your TV right with you? It's very annoying. And if I wanted to play a game, I had to go to the games closet and get out, and I had to get somebody to play with me. Then somebody put this in my hand. Ooh, man. What are you doing with your time and your life? So this, oh God. Sometimes it's the blinding flash of the obvious. So I'm this old, 2 weeks ago, maybe a month ago, I was playing one of my games that I play on this. I play crossword puzzle, and I play solitaire. And I noticed I was doing it a little more than I needed to be doing it. And I was paying attention. Well, that's interesting. You know better. Why are you doing this? And I thought, and I just paid attention. I feel like I'm accomplishing something. Every time I play a game of solitaire, and it doesn't, and I don't win it, I have to play another one, and then another one, and then another one until I win it. And then I think, oh, I accomplished something, so now I got to play another one so I can accomplish more. Oh my God. Unbelievable revelation. When I do a crossword puzzle all the way through and it's correct all the way through, I feel like I've accomplished something. Not on any of my to-do lists. Not on any of my plans about the life that I want to experience or what I want to give to the world or my contribution to life. It's not on any of those lists. And I had to recognize that I was providing myself with a false sense of accomplishment. Yeah. Because sometimes what I do for a living has long arcs of things. I don't always know that it's reaching people. Somebody has to write me an email and say my life has been changed from this class or this talk, or right? But it's a long arc. And so I had devolved into, over the last 5 or 6 years, and especially the stress of the pandemic, into a belief or an experience that I was accomplishing something. And is that really what I want to be doing with my time and my life? I love this Maya Angelou quote. I just really thought this was amazing. Let us live so we do not regret years of inertia and ignorance. So when we die, we can say all of our energy was dedicated to the noble liberation of the human mind and spirit, beginning with my own. I am sorry to say that sometimes I play my crossword rather than meditate in the morning. Habit, a sense of accomplishment, whatever it is, right? And do I want to come to the end of my life? Do we want to come to the end of our life and count up all the amount of time that we spent on distractions? Now, this does not mean you can't enjoy playing games. God forbid, no. We all need breaks. We all need time off. We all need play. We all need that. But not as a false sense of something, right? But as that set aside time, oh, now I'm going to play a little bit. And then we shut it down and we go on with our life. But I was noticing how much time was being spent on some of these other things. Do it your own way. This is tip number 4. Do it your own way. So I said in my 50s, I am going to start exercising so that when I hit my 60s, I'm going to be in the best shape I've ever been in my life. I said that at 52, and I said that at 55, and I said that at 56. Oh, man. Then I hit 60, and I thought, I'm still not exercising. This is, I had 1,000,001 stories about it, all kinds of excuses, all kinds of things going on, and I have donated a lot of money to gyms. I mean, a lot of money to gyms. Now, I used to get away with it because I would do aerobics with a friend and I would hike all over the Cascade Mountains, and I didn't need all that stuff. But, and then I was listening to something, God knows, a YouTube, I don't know, podcast, whatever it was. This was a number of years ago. And the woman I was listening to said, you know what? I hate to exercise around people. I don't want anybody watching me. So I exercise at home. And I thought, oh my God, there's nothing wrong with that. Everybody I had ever talked to about exercise had either said you got to get in classes or you got to go to the gym. And I hate the gym. And I didn't know why, but I'm an introvert. And when I'm doing my own personal thing, I want to be in my own room and I want to close the door. This is just me. Oh, God, I'm teary-eyed. When she said that, it was freedom. There is nothing wrong with me for wanting to exercise at home by myself. That was this massive revelation. What are you procrastinating on because you think you have to do it the way somebody else says you should do it? The way it's supposed to be done, the formula you're supposed to use, whatever it is. So I also discovered, much to my chagrin, that despite the fact that I had donated a lot of money to gyms, it was actually not enough each week or month to be painful. So I was perfectly willing to donate it. Till I finally, dissolved that gym membership and went on to something else, and the next one, and the next one, and the next one. So then I discovered that I could get a personal trainer at home through the pandemic, and I pay a little bit extra, a little more money. I have this lovely trainer through a lovely app, and it's not just downloading. You know, I can talk myself out of a video. Can't do that now. Oh, I'll stop halfway through. Nobody will know, right? I'm tired. Why should I do the whole thing? Well, I have a real personal trainer on the other end, and she watches what my watch does while I'm doing right? And if I stop halfway through, the little heart monitor stops halfway through too. So not only do I have invested money, but I've invested with a person who's, and she's really good. She can really help me now come back after this 3 months of not doing anything. But it's what works for me. Do it your own way. Find your own way of doing things, whatever it is, whatever organizational thing you need to do. I've tried them all. I've had every organizational notebook that they've had in the last 40 years. Covey and this and that and they're all too much work. They're way too much work. I procrastinate enough already. Are you kidding me? No, this is way too much work. There's way too many pieces to this. So I have had to find my own way, and especially now on technology. How am I going to use the technology to keep me on track with the things that I have to do? Find your own way. Okay, so let's talk about inertia in the last few minutes. Inertia is the tendency of objects in motion to stay in motion and objects at rest to stay at rest, unless a force causes its speed or direction to change. This is the first law of motion by Isaac Newton. Well, haven't you always thought of inertia as unmoving? Right. But it actually starts with inertia is the tendency of objects in motion to stay in motion. This is why they say, if you want something done, give it to a busy person. Because they're in motion. And they know how to manage their time, and they know how to slip extra things in, and they know how to get it on their to-do list or whatever it is, however they're managing their stuff, and they get shit done. So inertia is, what we have to do is get ourselves moving so that moving in our lives, moving forward, becomes the habit, becomes the inertia. I'll never forget an interview I saw with John Travolta. And of course, I'm of the era. I loved his Staying Alive. I love that. I love the Bee Gees. I love that movie. I actually just watched it recently again just for the fun of it. And I was listening to him talk about that time period. And he said, do you know they had me dancing 8 hours a day, 5 days a week? He said, I was like a racehorse by the time we were ready to film. He said, when the filming is over, I didn't know what to do with myself because I wanted to keep moving. That's inertia. That's inertia moving for us. Do you see? As opposed to keeping us sitting. The tendency of objects in motion to stay in motion. It doesn't have to be frantic. It doesn't have to be frenetic. It doesn't have to be stressed. It doesn't have to be all I ever do is do. But it's a habit of movement, of taking the thing up. What's there to do? What's there to do in the moment, and not setting it aside and say, I'll get it later. I loved Karen's affirmation, today, not tomorrow. That's using inertia for our good. The tip number 6, do not stop. No, tip number 5, do not stop until it's done. Because if you're in motion, stay in motion, finish it all the way through, and then sit down. I cannot tell you how many partners I've worked with who they do all the work and then they walk away. What are we going to do with the cleanup? Oh, I'll get to it later. Do you like to clean up later? No. And it sits there, and it sits there, and it sits there. All the way through to the end. All the way through, which is what happened to me on Friday. I've been working on this project now for 2 or 3 weeks. I've been working on it with different staff people, different things that needed to be done. And I was ready. Do it all the way through to completion. And then I took time off on Saturday and I bought myself new shoes. And so I had my break and I had my time. But do you see, we stopped short. For whatever reason, we stop short because we think we want to, I don't know what. I've done it. How many unfinished projects do you have in your closet, in your cupboard, in your drawer, somewhere, right? So unfinished projects weigh on us. They create the wrong kind of inertia, and they support procrastination. Ugh, it's just one more unfinished project. I can't think about it. So finish it or get rid of it, or put yourself on a timeline, or say, I'll do it next year. That's going to be my project in April of next year. Put a sign on it, April 2025. I'm going to pick up this project. Great. And then between now and April, you don't have to think about it. It doesn't have to weigh on you. You see, there's lots of strategies to take care of these things. But do it all the way to completion. Finally, the last thing I would say, the biggest tip, the single biggest tip, is to ask yourself, what is it for? What is it for? Well, I go camping now. I do things, Karen and I do things that are kind of sometimes a little tiring because it's for creating memories with our granddaughter. Right? What is it for? What is it for? What is the purpose of this thing? And if you don't know what it's for, or you're not sure what the purpose is, it might actually not belong on your to-do list. It might actually not be something that you need to be doing, and your procrastination is actually telling you, this isn't mine. This isn't for me. What is it for? What is the purpose of it? This is your why. Where you are going. How is this a part of where you're going? Not necessarily the steps along the way, but the end result. It will pull us forward, right? So here we are on our raft, and what we want to do is be participating in all of these ways, because when it hits the rapids, if we're not contributing, that raft is going to spin and twirl and hit the rocks, and it might actually capsize. But if we're participating, right, we're helping the whole process go through. So here you go, the tips in one fell swoop. Start. Also pay attention to starting on what's important and not distracting ourselves. Decide to care about it. Decide simply to care about it instead of constantly denigrating the thing that's in front of you, talking it down, talking about how much you don't want to do it. What else are you doing? Think about what are you doing for distractions, for things that are keeping you unengaged in the way you want to move forward in your life. Do it your way. Underlined exclamation point. Don't stop. Keep going. Just keep at it. Keep at it. Don't stop. Don't stop short. And ask yourself what it's for. What's it for? What's the purpose, right? Michael, one of my prayer partners, Michael Gott, and I, we talk about it, and we say we're exercising today for who we are at 85 years, right? Not for today. I'm actually doing pretty good today. I can still horse around my 50-pound suitcase. I want to be able to do that at 85. Do you see? What's it for? What's it for? Just do it. That's really, Wayne Dyer used to say, you want to stop chewing on your fingernails? Take your fingers out of your mouth. Stop overanalyzing it. Stop obsessing about it. Why do I not do it? Start focusing on just doing it. Finally, to close, here's this other fabulous quote from Ernest Holmes. We should believe that spirit is the invisible partner in our lives, and affirm that divine love goes before us and prepares the way. We should permit ourselves to be guided, for there is something within us, deep at the center of our being, which knows what we ought to do and how we ought to do it. So it is.
Yes, yes, yes. Amen. All right, let's just do it, y'all. Okay, so whether you're in the room or online, please give generously to the transformation mission of CSL Dallas, for it takes every single one of us to give generously. As we know, in a lot of things, every amount matters. CSL Dallas can share the message and offer all our programs thanks to each of us. So no matter who we are, where we are, how much we give, it matters. Activate the law of giving and receiving and make a difference through your giving. I trust me, the more you give, the more it's going to come back to you. The universe just says yes. So we've got something to give to you. Let's do this abundance affirmation together. You ready? Here we go. I attract wonderful opportunities for the expression of every talent I possess. Every door and channel are open for my good. Spirit is manifesting the highest good for CSL Dallas and for our community. We let the newness, freshness, and originality of spirit permeate our entire consciousness. We are open and receptive to our boundless good. Love that. So it is. There are many ways you can give. If you're like me, don't carry a lot of cash. We can give through text giving, through our CSLDallas.org/give, PayPal, auto tithe, set it up, and it just happens. And when you get that alert that something's been taken out of your checking account, go, wow, I'm so generous and I'm grateful I give to CSL Dallas. Do it your way. Just do it. Okay? I love getting the text. Bing, bing, bing. Here comes one. Thank you. See? I can tell you, $75. Thank you, Lauren, right then and there. Love it. Thank you, thank you, thank you for texting and giving. Y'all don't know, but I get this text, and every Sunday, when you come up on my phone, my personal cell phone, I bless every single name and person that I see here. So thank you, Lauren. I'm not going to say your last name for that $75. All right, so are you asking yourself the question in accordance with this month's theme? Am I on the right path? Are you on the boat going in the right direction? So next Saturday afternoon, you're invited to unlock the profound wisdom within you and align your life with your true calling. Are you ready to get on the right track in your life? What if everything you've learned and experienced is part of a grand design and it's meant to happen to you? Paula Holland, an award-winning author, artist, mentor, coach, and motivational speaker, is offering a hybrid online and in-person workshop based upon years of coaching and working with clients. This amazing opportunity, no matter where you show up, is designed to give you clarity on your goals, increase your confidence in achieving them, and align your accountability and with what needs to be done. So you can register today. It's next Saturday from 1 to 3:30. Give yourself the gift of those 2.5 hours. Another gift you can give yourself, Vision Cast, where art and vision meet. Doesn't that sound good? Doesn't that sound good? Yeah, I love it. Y'all are still here. Saturday, August 24th at 7 p.m. You don't want to miss this. Another amazing workshop that blends a unique meditation experience with the creative art of making art. So the meditation allows you to ponder your life at a higher level. It uncovers blockages, it reveals truths, and it will reignite you with maybe some lost flames. And then you put it all into a piece of art that you take home. Doing this vision cast invites you to process subliminal stories and revelations and then materialize a tangible piece of work that reminds you of who you really are. And here's the key, folks. No art experience required. That's important for me. I'm not like a big artist. Do you draw stick figures like me? You can come to this. And it's facilitated by our own Ryan Brown. He is phenomenal. So there'll be light food and refreshments, and all the supplies are included. So register. You must register by August 23rd because you can't walk up and do it. Okay, so it's pre-register. Sustainability Circle is hosting the second of its series of information sessions designed to provide practical and proven ideas on how you can live more sustainable. It's a 30-minute session, Sunday, August 25th. It begins at 11:45 a.m. So right after our 11:45 a.m. That's what I thought I was hearing behind me, Central Time. And we'll focus on how to make your home more energy efficient, which is a great thing for your home, for less money, and for our planet. So get the Zoom link when you register. Okay? Now, this is really also important about where we are in the life of our community. If you haven't noticed, there's a lot of change going on here. So we continue to clear out duplicated and unneeded items. We are cleaning our closets, y'all, at CSL Dallas. And we're now working on the kitchen and the pantry items. If you haven't been over in Pankey Hall, you'll see that this morning. So keep showing up here on campus and check over in Pankey Hall because we're going to keep cleaning out our closets, and they're things that you can purchase and take home and put them in your closet. But you could spend less here than in the store. So you make a donation and you take it home, and there's some really cool things. And today is the last Sunday for Val Guillong's distinctive fabric art, so check it out across the breezeway as well. Last but not least, our licensed spiritual coaches are available for you today, both across the breezeway and online for your spiritual support. Have a clear mental equivalent of what you're going to ask for, and they will do an affirmative prayer for you. So thank you for being you. Thank you for doing it your way and for being such a loving community with us. So if you are able and willing to stand and sing this thing out.